Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. Is everything falling apart in China? Like when you listen to Westerners that come to China for the first time, or they're here for a very short time, they say the apartments, they're garbage, they're falling apart. And I'm walking through Jinda Park. It's where I live, right by Guangxi University. I've been here for about 12 years, and you know, it hasn't changed in looks in 12 years since I've been here. You got to understand that these places, well, they are getting better. The apartments, the newer apartments are getting better. The builds are better. See, these ones here, if you look behind me, ceramic tile on the outside. Everybody's got bars on their windows. There's businesses down in the bottom which sort of take away from the quiet, but it actually adds an ambiance to the apartment complex, because I can go downstairs and right in the complex I can have a bowl of soup for breakfast. 5 yen, 6 yen, exactly, so $1 for breakfast. But are these places falling apart? Well, the short answer is no, they're not. These places are solid. They're rebar and cement, and they're not going anywhere. I've seen them trying to knock down places like this, and it literally takes them weeks to do it. Why? Because they're put together so strong. See, in Canada, we have condos where everybody puts money in. Here they do the same thing, but you see, they just put money into the operating account. They don't put it into a contingency account. The difference is, operating account is for security, garbage removal, cleaning, whatever type thing. The contingency account is for upgrades to the common property. Here, they don't do that. They don't do upgrades to the common property. So this place was built in 1989, and it hasn't had any upgrades to the outside of the property since 1989, so 30 years. Think about your place in Canada or the United States. If you didn't do anything to the outside of your home or your apartment building, condo, whatever, just think what it would look like. You don't have to think, just look behind me. This, if it was done in cement and ceramic tile, this is exactly what it would look like. So the idea that everything is falling apart in China, no. Here, why don't I take you over to a newer apartment complex, something that's done in the last couple of years, and you can see the difference from the build of something 30 years ago to something 2 years ago. I'll be right back. Okay, so these places behind me, these are a couple years old. They're not high end, they're not low end, they're sort of middle of the road. And you can see that they don't have the ceramic tile on the side. They're mostly sort of a stucco outside with glass and stucco is pretty well what they're made of on the outside. And this seems to last a lot longer and look nice a lot longer in a place like Nanning. You've got a city that's 7 million people, so there's going to be pollution. The white tile that you saw in the Jinda Park, it shows the pollution, it shows the dirt. With these ones here, no, it doesn't show the dirt, it doesn't show the pollution, because I guess it's the same color, I don't know. But look at that. Wow. You know, if you think about it, this is 10,000 a meter. In Nanning City, you can get places that are about 4,000 a meter, brand new. Yes, you can. The building is built with less. It's not as nice. The building products that they use are not as nice. Yes, they tend to fall apart a little bit more because they're built shoddy. Where these ones here are about 10,000 RMB a meter. These will last a fair long time, and you're going to have to take a frickin' bulldozer to them to take them down. Well, actually, you'd have to, with something like this, you'd have to use explosives, because, as I say, they're rebar and cement and brick, and that's what they're made of. Glass, lots of glass too. But they're not falling down anytime soon. And the people that tell you that they are, they're just blowing smoke out of their ass. I tell you that right now. They're looking for views. you want to view my channel, not their channel, because they're feeding me a line of bullshit. Anyway, this ain't no green screen. You don't get green screen 360 degrees. Or maybe you do in Hollywood. This ain't Hollywood. We're on the ground here in China. Nanning, China. God love it. Let's go over and take a look at some that are worth about, I don't know, 15,000 RMB a square meter. Yeah, those are even nicer. And these places behind me, they go for about 12,500 RMB a square meter. But, you know, as I was driving over here, a guy handed me a little leaflet. I'll show it to you. Yes, so the idea that you can buy a place in Nanning for about 3,800 RMB a square meter. RMB, so by Canadian dollars, let me think this. Okay, it's 5.4, 3,800 RMB, so that's about 700 Canadian dollars a meter. A meter is 9 square foot, or just over 9 square foot. So you're looking at, what, 85 bucks? $85 a square foot for a place? Well, of course, for that price, they're not going to use as good a building products. They're not, the area isn't going to be as good. You're going to be on the outskirts of the city rather than a central area. Is it a good thing? Well, some people can't afford a better place. Doesn't mean it's going to fall down. Doesn't mean that you know, those people that say, oh, everything in China is shit and is falling down. No, you see, that's not true. The roads are good. The infrastructure is amazing. They're always working on the sewer systems to make them better. They're always working on the roads to make them better. They're working on the high-speed rail. They're working on the subway system. They're working on all these things. So when people tell you that everything in China is falling apart, as I say, they're just blowing smoke up your ass. They're those anti-Chinese people that just do whatever they can to call China down and the Chinese people down. Don't pay them any mind, and think of where it's coming from. When you're sitting in front of a green screen, rather than on the ground, actually living it, watching it, knowing it, it's just like you sitting there in front of your television set. Would you be an expert on China because you watched a couple shows on China? Would you be an expert on China if you're sitting there in front of a green screen in your place in Oslo, Norway, or in London, England, or in Los Angeles, California? Yeah, exactly. So don't listen to these people. China is a great country. The things are built good here, and I love it. And voila, we're back in Jinda Park. See, Lisa's place, one that we showed in one of our last videos, 3 million RMB, so about 30,000 RMB per meter. Yeah, you're going to get a better build. You're going to get a better location. You're going to get better service. You're going to get higher fees, because those places not only have a operating fund, but they have a contingency fund. So if things break down, then they're fixed, and they're fixed really quick, because those rich people, they pay for that service. They pay to make sure that everything is really nice. The grounds are beautiful. They're not like this. You know, we have cement, we have buildings, and we have businesses, places to live. Sure, sometimes it gets a little bit loud in here, but you know what? I like it. It all depends on the people that are living in there. You see, with our little area of our little condo operation here, we've got people that actually care. So our security gate works. The hallways are painted. We have places to plug in our bikes outside, you know, things like that the other people in the complex don't have. Why? Because they say, it's not my responsibility. So it all comes down to the people in the building, the people in your area of the building, and whether they're willing to take on responsibility. Do the places look a little bit shoddy? Yeah, they do. Why? Well, because, as I say, nobody takes care of the outside of the buildings. But as I say too, when you get in, you see in the inside my place, you look outside and you think, oh, Lao Sidong, which means rat hole in China. But when you get into the inside, you say, oh, this isn't bad. You know, you got nice white tile floors, you got nice big TV, you got, you know, walls and ceilings, and you've got everything that you need, except for maybe the Debunking, which is just a hole in the floor. When we're doing a renovation, we'll get that all figured out sooner or later. But you see, the thing is that it's not falling down. It is what it is. It's not the same as the Western world. It'll never be the same as the Western world. But at least we don't have all of the rules that they have in Canada. I get into the condo in Nanaimo and they say you can only have white curtains on your windows. Everything has to be the same. No barbecue on your balcony. You can't put you can't hang clothes on your balcony. That's another thing. Everybody hangs clothes. You see, everybody hangs clothes on their balcony. Why? People don't use dryers here. Does it make it look worse? To some people it does. To a Western person it does. To a Chinese person, no, that's normal. It is normal because, but to a Western person they say, oh, it makes it look terrible. I'd rather be hanging my clothes on my balcony in Nanaimo than running downstairs and putting it into a community dryer where you don't know what the other guy doing with it. you know what I mean. So the thing is that they're lived in. The place is lived in, and it's that's the way it is. That's why it looks like it does, because there's a lot of people here, and it's lived in. And that's another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the bell, and don't forget to look at your subscribe button, because I'm still getting complaints from a whole bunch of people that they're being unsubscribed over and over again. And even one of them even said, oh, I did a bunch of likes, and I went back to check them, and the likes were gone too. I gotta phone YouTube. Oh, and one last thing, and never forget this, guys. The Helping Hand Children Foundation, the Patreon account that we have for the rural poor children, put a couple bucks on that. It's for a good cause. Thanks for watching. Bye now. Maybe the people that were talking about things falling apart, we're talking about the types of buildings that are behind me here now. Well, these buildings aren't condos. They're not built by companies. People actually own the land for these buildings, and they build them themselves. And they've probably been here since, I don't know, the 70s-ish. And they're built of brick, and they're built of cement, and they're built of rebar. And these puppies, I know, aren't going anywhere anytime soon either. So yeah, you see, you get all of these, and a lot of it comes from anti-China YouTubers. Yes, you know the two I'm talking about, sitting in front of a green screen in Southern California, sipping on Budweiser beer, telling everybody how bad China is. Yeah, things are falling apart in China for sure. Actually, they're not. They just don't look very pretty. But you know what? I've been in a lot of these places, and when you get inside, she's a whole different story. They've got nice tile floors, they've got big bedrooms, they've got nice furniture, they've got a 65-inch flat screen TV hanging on the wall. Yeah, so it's not as bad as people let on